Assalamu alaikum. Today on Noreen Academy, we discuss the sacred trust of integrity, or amana. If you benefit, please support by subscribing and sharing as a sadaqah.
You know, let's think back for a moment. Imagine a time when the whole engine of commerce wasn't just running on gold coins and caravans. It was running on something much, much more valuable: trust. Back in the Islamic Golden Era, promises, contracts, entire fortunes, they were sealed in letters. The reliability of just one single message could literally make or break a market.
And right at the heart of this entire system of trust, we find a man named Hamza. Now, he wasn't some powerful merchant or a famous scholar. Nope, he was a courier. But his story shows us a principle that's just profound, that the integrity of your work is so much more valuable than just how fast you can get it done.
And this idea, integrity over speed, it brings us right to the first core concept of our story: looking at your work as a profound trust, not just a simple task.
So, you see, there are two totally different ways of looking at this. For most people, a career's job was, well, it was mundane, maybe even low status. But if you look at it through the lens of the prophetic ethic, no job is insignificant. The real value of what you do isn't about the title you hold. It's about the impact you have on other people. And this was a truth that Hamza understood down to his core.
I mean, just think about this mindset for a second. He saw a direct line connecting his actions to real-world consequences. If he delayed a contract, a family might not eat. If a message got altered, a whole partnership could just dissolve. He knew deep down he wasn't just carrying around pieces of paper. He was carrying people's futures, their livelihoods. That right there, that's the essence of true responsibility.
And, as you might guess, this deep sense of responsibility was about to be put to the test. As the economy boomed, it started forcing a really tough choice on everyone. Do you choose excellence or do you choose haste? As trade routes got longer and the money got bigger, so did the pressure. It was like a pressure cooker. Merchants, all driven by profit, they wanted everything faster and faster and faster. And this, of course, led to cutting corners, taking these dangerous shortcuts where letters could easily get lost, or traveling all through the night where mistakes were bound to happen. The whole market just started to value speed above everything else. But Hamza, he held firm. He wasn't going to budge. He knew that the real value wasn't in being the fastest courier out there, but in being the most reliable one. So he chose the safe, well-traveled paths. He would double and triple check every single seal. He even provided receipts to prove his deliveries. Now, yeah, he lost a few clients who were chasing after speed, but he was building something much more powerful, much more lasting, a reputation built on pure trust. You see, Hamza's actions were guided by this beautiful principle of ihsan, or excellence. And it's this profound idea that you perform every single action to the absolute highest standard, because you're conscious that you're in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It teaches us that true halal ambition never gets confused. It never mistakes haste for excellence. Excellence has a standard that speed alone can just never, ever meet. And this commitment to ihsan, it ultimately leads to the final trial, the moment that would really define his entire character, the test of isolation. I want you to just picture this scene. Hamza is completely alone out on some dusty, isolated road. He reaches into his satchel and discovers that a letter has come unsealed. A quick glance inside reveals valuable trade secrets. We're talking information that could make him a rich man overnight if he just decided to use it. And this brings up a question for all of us, doesn't it? There are no witnesses, there's no tracking system, no one would ever know what he did. In a moment just like that, when you're totally free from anyone else watching, what is it that truly defines your character? What's the real measure of your integrity? Well, Hamza's response gives us the answer. He carefully, meticulously resealed that letter without reading a single word more. He just completed his delivery. And this proves that true integrity, it isn't about how you act when everyone's watching you. No, it's proven in the choices you make when you are completely and utterly alone with your conscience. But here's the thing about true excellence. It doesn't just stay as an individual act. Hamza knew his next step was to scale up his personal integrity into a system that the entire community could benefit from. See, Hamza didn't just want to be reliable himself. He wanted to build a reliable service. So he started training other people, and he established these clear pillars of reliability. First, standardized safe routes for everyone. Second, documented chain of custody logs. And third, duplicate confirmations for both the sender and the receiver.
He was building a system of trust that was so much bigger than just one person. And the outcome? It was absolutely transformative. Sure, the average delivery time might have slowed down just a little bit, but errors, lost letters, disputes, they vanished completely. The merchants, they learned pretty quickly that predictability was way more valuable than just raw speed. Reliability became the new currency. It became the true backbone of commerce. And this system he built, it is the perfect embodiment of al-amana, the sacred trust. It shows us that trust isn't just about being honest in a single moment. It's about building systems, upholding duties, and fulfilling our obligations to both Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to the people who depend on us. Through his work, Hamza transformed a simple job into a powerful manifestation of amana. So this brings us to the final part of our story, the kind of legacy that a commitment like this leaves behind. Hamza's reputation faced one last big test. A really powerful trader offered him a huge contract, but it came with a catch. He had to selectively delay the messages of his competitors. And Hamza refused, because he understood a critical truth. Integrity can't be selective. The moment you start deciding who deserves your honesty, you've compromised the entire principle for everyone. And so, decades went by. The world changed around him. New trade routes opened up, cities got bigger, rulers came and went. But Hamza's name? His name became the same as the word trust. His legacy wasn't about wealth or power. It was a simple phrase that carried more weight than gold. Send it with Hamza. His brand was reliability itself. So this ancient parable, it leaves us with a very, very modern question. In our careers, in our daily lives, we all face this choice. When upholding your integrity, your amana, costs you an opportunity, maybe a promotion or a profit, what are you going to choose? Will you protect that sacred trust, or will you sacrifice it quietly when no one is watching? Presented and created by Noron Studio.